Hi, this is the last of my series of wine tasting videos. And by that time, I'm talking wine tasting parties. This is what I'm going to call this one. What am I going to call this one? Take a guess. No, I don't mean guess the title. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it Take a Guess. So the idea here is to have everybody bring a bottle of wine, just like we did in the other ones. And if you're talking 8 people, then you've got 8 bottles of wine. Everybody brings some food to share with that. And this time, it's kind of the only thing you're going to qualify here is your price. Just so everybody's spending about the same amount of money, you say, okay, spend from this amount to this amount. Someplace in that range is what you're going to pay for a bottle of wine, and bring it with you. Now, this is going to be a little tricky. A couple different ways to do this. You might have the host, if you're the host or hostess, you might take all the bottles and you might be doing the pouring for everyone. Now, an option on this is to have everybody pour their own. The downside of that, and I guess I should explain a little more, but yeah, you'll figure it out. The downside of that is if everybody pours their own, they don't know the right order to go in. And by order, if you want to do all the whites first, well, if they got a white, they know they're going to be first. You might even say, okay, has anybody got a white? And kind of go around, oh, I got one. Okay, you go next. Until you run out of whites. And everybody, who's got reds? Well, apparently whoever's left has reds. So that's one way to do it. You're kind of going to, not necessarily going to keep them in a good order. But if you're going to be the host or hostess doing this type of party, then you get to do the pouring also. Now that means you can't really play the game, but you can still have fun with it. Okay, what's the game? Well, the game is guess what the wine is. So you've got 2 things to guess here. You've got to guess the varietal, and you've got to guess the country or region it came from. Now, so obviously any fool can guess red or white just by looking at it, so that's not a challenge. But if you get a white wine, this is, you're going to know that it's going to be this or this or this or this. You know it's not going to be a Cabernet Sauvignon. You know it's not going to be a Pinot Noir because it's white. So beyond that, you're kind of left in the dark. And this tasting is kind of more for the experienced tasters. You people who've been drinking for a while and really paying attention to what you're drinking. And I'm talking wine, of course. Everybody's been drinking for a while, I think, but not always wine. So anyway, take those wines, and if you're going to be, let's say the host or hostess is going to do the pouring, they kind of arrange them, whites first, reds second, then inside the whites individually, okay, this one's going to be a crisper, this one's going to be a little heavier, richer, fuller. So you go from the crisp to the fuller, then in the reds, you go from a lighter, fruitier one to a heavier, full-bodied, bold Cabernet Sauvignon type wine. And then you go around and you pour for everybody and let them discuss it. No hints, just bite your tongue, keep it to yourself, and then let them guess. Okay, you can have them compare notes, or they can do it one individually, write it down, and then everybody reveal at the end. Lots of variations on this. Although I think it might be better to, the first time at least, have them talk it out among themselves. It's like, well, I taste this flavor, I smell this in it. That is reminiscent of Sauvignon Blanc, for example. It tastes real grassy, has a grassy nose to it, a grassy taste, maybe a little citrusy on the taste, whatever it might be, very sharp and crisp. Okay, that's a good candidate for a Sauvignon Blanc. So now, if everybody kind of agrees on that, then where's it from? Good regions for Sauvignon Blanc. The main region, of course, is New Zealand. That would be my first guess. It was a really good Sauvignon Blanc. But it may not be a really good one, maybe average. So guess from there. Anyway, have fun with that. This is how you really learn about wine. This is going to force you to taste it, smell it, and decide, what is it I'm tasting here? What are the characteristics? Where have I had those before? Or have I had them before? Maybe it's something you've never tried before. So lots of interesting possibilities on this. Give it a try. Let me know the results. Give me some comments down below and tell me what you think about it, and did you have fun with it. Give me a thumbs up if you got some ideas that I didn't mention, and enjoy your wine. Meantime, cheers and have a good day. A wine tasting by country, or wine around the world. Yeah, let's try saying that 3 times. Anyway, in this case, what we're going to do is have your guests bring wines from a particular country or region.